mug? Doesn't it give you the impression that I eat vegetables? It was made in Italy, too. Oh, you fancy, huh? Anyway, hello, boys and girls and non-binary people. Today I'm going to be sharing with you stories of a few times that the internet and technology, my inability to use them correctly, men, and my inability to interact with them correctly, all combined in ways that made
Long, long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, unless you also live in suburban New Jersey, a girl named Sammy had so many awkward stories about so many awkward times that she'd screwed up on the internet and ruined her love life that the video she made about it was so long that literally no one would watch it. So she decided in hindsight to split it up into a series so everyone wouldn't have to bring a cake so they could celebrate their next birthday in front of their computers. But here's an existential cake in case you still wanted one. Anyway, number 1.
the Orgasmic Clickbait incident. This one requires us to take a little time machine ride back to 2010. I was in the 8th grade. My Chemical Romance had just put out Danger Days. My parents had just gotten divorced. Everybody had just switched from those arms full of those silly band bracelets to those clunky rubber Hot Topic ones that had like bands on them. The number of which you wore was of course completely proportional to how cool you were. I was in the grips of the hormones of puberty, which made me super confused and sad about who I was as a person, and also interested in boys, most of whom had not hit their initial growth spurt yet. Except for this one boy in my American history class. He was already pushing 6 foot. He had the quintessential sexually ambiguous, like, flippy skater hair. He wore band tees and beanies to school, even though hats were, like, a huge dress code violation. He broke out singing Never Shout Never in the middle of lectures about the Civil War. And most of all, unlike pretty much every other boy at this middle school, he talked to me. 14-year-old Sammy thought she was in love. For the sake of saving embarrassment and privacy, I guess, we'll refer to him as Lucas, although he'll probably never see this. And also, even if he did, judging from the cringy, desperate Facebook conversations I had with him back then, he definitely knew I liked him. So even though we were all totally not emo at this point in our lives, my particular grade level kind of missed the age of the cultural revolution that was MySpace by 2 or 3 years. So when we were feeling angsty about some Blink-182 lyrics or like super cool about the new bangs we'd just cut ourselves, we posted on Facebook. When Lucas got a girlfriend, I spent my days crying over his Facebook profile and listening to Mayday Parade. So one such day, while I was surfing the Facebooks, going through articles about Lindsay Lohan's arrest and awkwardly angled selfies, I came across a video title that my 14-year-old brain just could not ignore. Woman has orgasm on roller coaster. Now at this point, I didn't even really know what that word meant. Like, I'd had health class, but they hadn't quite gone into that much detail about that kind of vocabulary. However, I'd put it together from TV and movies that maybe it had something to do with sex. And then I didn't really understand how that was related to roller coasters. 14-year-old me was intrigued. I was confused. I wanted to understand this phenomenon. So I click on this awful video link, and I don't remember exactly what came up. All I know is that I never saw any kind of video, just some other page came up, wouldn't load, something like that. I accepted that I wasn't learning anything about roller coaster sex that day. All I know is that when I returned to Facebook at some point in the future, and I was going through my newsfeed, it was absolutely full of links to this same video. And I was like, wow, I guess a lot of people are really also curious about roller coaster sex today. And then I started looking at the little box that was supposed to contain the profile picture of the user that had shared said link. And contained in all of his boxes was a picture of a person who looked suspiciously like me, like every time. And then next to that box was a name that was just like, it was my name, and I was like, did I do this? I don't think I did this. So it turns out that when I clicked the original Woman Has Orgasm on Roller Coaster link, I had given some kind of third party access to my Facebook profile, with which it reposted the same link, which I will emphasize this again, said in bold caps, "Woman has orgasm on roller coaster," to pretty much everyone on my freaking friends list. I'm talking my mother, my grandmother, my crazy aunt from New Hampshire, my freaking clarinet instructor from elementary school, and of course, Lucas. But it gets worse. Apparently, this third party also used some kind of algorithm with which it posted the link to the person's timeline in relation to how much you visited that person's profile. He got it. Not once, not twice, but 5 times a lady. Hey Lucas, check out this video. Isn't this crazy? An orgasm roller coaster. I deactivated my Facebook for like 6 months after that.